Hello, YouTube. This is Paul with Life with Paul. We wanted to. He told me he wanted me to tell y'all about something today. Well, on Facebook and other groups and social media, every day we're seeing posts of Cane Corso dogs being 1, 2, 3 years plus old that are up to be rehomed. Where are you going? Come on. Come on. Well, so the subject and what I wanted to talk about today with this video is the thing we get everywhere we go. Scooch. Everywhere I take him, Scooch. Every event I go to the grocery store even, because he is a service dog. People see him and they're all like, oh, he's such a cool dog. I want one of those dogs. I'm going to get one of those dogs. So this video is, so you want a Cane Corso, but do you really? These dogs, they tend to bond with one person. They're not like other dogs that would just bond with a whole family. The whole family is their pet. But they bond mainly with one person. In our household, my wife is part of the pack. He will die protecting her. He actually protects her more than he does me. However, the bond we have is a bond between me and him. So if you break that bond, what happens to that dog? So what I want to encourage you with today is, if you think you want a dog like this, if you want a Cane Corso, that's fine. However, make really, really sure you really are up for what you're getting into. Do your research, educate yourself. Know about the breed, know about the characteristics. Know what you're getting into long before you ever pick up a puppy. Church, these dogs are descendants from ancient Roman war dogs. They grew in popularity in Italy and were used mainly for hunting, guarding livestock, guarding a farm, and for family protection. The Romans, they used them in war. Paul, come. They would have them carrying buckets of flaming oil into enemy troops. This is what they used them for. Well, they carry those characteristics still to this day. They are a guardian breed dog. They're a very, very large dog. Well, now you want me to throw it again? Hey. Well, that's not to be taken lightly. They have the second strongest bite force of all dog breeds out there. So they can do a lot of damage and really fast. Without proper training, Scooch, without proper guidance, they can be a menace and end up getting put down. They can cause a death to a person really, really easily. If you think you want one of these dogs, they require your time and lots of it. They are very intelligent, which is the reason I wanted one of these breeds. They're very intelligent. The downside to being so intelligent is if you don't educate them, if you don't train them, if you don't socialize them, they will think for themselves. If they think for themselves, that's when they get in trouble. This breed eats up all your time because the optimum time for socializing them, and you have to socialize them. If you do not socialize them They will deem everything they come in contact with as a threat, and they will react accordingly. You have to socialize them so they know what is a threat and what is not. Paul was heavily socialized from the minute we got him. I picked him up, he was 8 weeks old. 8 weeks old and 20 pounds. Today, he is 4.5 and weighs about 140. But when I socialized him, I took him everywhere. I took him to stores. We live in near a tourist town, and I would take him to that tourist town where he'd get to go and just sit on the sidewalk and see all kinds of people and other dogs and everything go by. Well, I socialized him also on Sundays outside the front door of my church. I went to a church that most Sundays would have around 400 people come and go. Well, he'd get to see all kinds of people, and they would interact with him, and they'd be all shapes, colors, all different sizes, kids, adults, tall, short. My wife is very short. Love you, babe. And kids, he loves kids. He's really good with them, except he doesn't realize his size because he hasn't gotten to spend much time playing with them, so he will knock them down. That is another consideration with this breed of dog. When you get them at 8 weeks old, they'll be 20 pounds, little bitty. As you can see, they don't stay that way. They require room. I live in a small place, but we have 2 acres here in the yard that he gets to come out and play. Your social life will revolve around that dog because Cane Corsos are prone for separation anxiety. So your cruise vacations you had planned, you need to replan that because it needs to be planned around that dog because he will require your attention. The optimum time for training them is between 7.5 weeks old to 12 weeks old. That is when you need to have them out and about and socializing them and training them. At a minimum, they need strict obedience training. And they need to know that you are the leader. You need to be a strong leader who is consistent. Not mean, not rough, not alpha. Don't try alpha with these dogs. It will blow up in your face. But you are the leader because they look to you for guidance when they're puppies. And then when they're adults, they still look to you because that's the bond. That's the relationship. My dog, being 4.5 years old, still looks to me for everything. He's very well behaved. And the reason he is because I thoroughly trained him. And every day we continuously train. We don't do it 24/7, but every day we rehash that. We go through obedience work or some kind of training or some kind of commands in his reaction every day. Your other consideration is your house. These dogs don't do well being left outside all day long. They want human connection. They want to be with you. It's in their genetics. It's just who they are. If you can't do that, this is not the breed for you. I don't want to be the one to bust your bubble. I don't want to sound harsh, but I want to be real and truthful with you. For the dog's sake alone, that's not the dog for you if that's how you are. Not judging you. That's just the truth. Your other consideration is your yard. If you live in an apartment, you live somewhere like that, you're going to have to take this dog on a walk or at least every day. They are high energy. They're good with laying around most of the day and just being chill. They're good with that, but they build up energy and they have to have a release for that energy. They need mental stimulation and they need physical activity. If they don't have it, that's when they start getting in trouble. That's when they use your house as a chew toy. With this mouth, they can destroy a house really, really quickly. This dog is serious business. They can be very destructive, and in the wrong hands, they can be very, very harmful to the community. It's all in how you raise them, but you have to spend the time with them. This dog depends on you for 24/7 guidance. It's up to you. If you live where you have a yard, your little 5 and 6 foot perimeter fence, he'll go right over that fence. You need to upgrade your fence if you're just going to let him go in the yard and let him play in the yard. Paul is never in the yard without me being out here with him. I don't know what's going to come in the yard. I live out in the country, and I don't want him going out that gate. We have a little fence that won't do much. He can jump right over it if he wants to. A dog like him, his size, unsupervised and unguided, loose in the community, is a recipe for disaster. Paul is very friendly because he was heavily socialized. He loves other animals. He loves other people. But you never know. And a dog that looks like him will frighten people just looking at him alone. That's another hard truth. If you want this dog for the scare factor, because they look scary, because they will fit, you can walk around and you can be the bad guy. You know what I mean? You can be the badass, have the big dog that scares everyone. This is not the dog for you. To my military friends, I love you, I salute you, and I deeply thank you for your service. I see this all the time and it breaks my heart. Service members put ads up. They need to rehome their dog that they've had for a year or 2 years. Why do they need to? Because now they're being transferred and are being stationed into a country where these dogs are not allowed. I don't want ill feelings, and I don't want to make you mad. You have no business with a dog like this. You know that there's countries that this dog is not allowed in, that he is illegal to have. And you know, as part of your military experience, you will be stationed in another country. You have no business getting a dog like this until you're out of the military. I mean that with all due respect, but for the dog's sake, please don't get a Cane Corso if you're in the military currently. I'm sorry to have to say that, but that is the honest truth. If you are not versed in obedience training, if you do not know how to train a dog, do not get a Cane Corso, please. It will be a recipe for disaster. If this will be your first dog you've ever had, you've never had another dog, this is not the dog for you. He is far too demanding and requires too much of you that you do not know. If you do not know how to bring this dog up correctly, he will think for himself. And a dog thinking for himself is never a good idea. It doesn't matter if it's a little bitty pug or a Great Dane. It does not make a difference. If you can't bring them up properly and you can't train them properly, you don't need a dog. That being said, you can research and learn everything about training a dog online, and it won't cost you a penny. All it'll cost you is time. The biggest requirement for this dog will be your time. He will take up all of your time. It eases up as they get older and get mature, but for their first 2 years, you are their world, and it is a requirement for you to be there, and you have to invest your time. This little fetch game we were playing, if you like playing fetch with a dog, this may not be the dog for you. The reason I say that is because that game fetch, you can't play with them until they're like 2 years old. They are a large breed dog, and when they're puppies, they grow really, really fast. Well, when they're growing, their growth plates are open, And if you run them too much, which is really easy to do, their hips and their leg joints will separate and they will not go back. It's called hip dysplasia. It is very painful for them. Sometimes it can be fixed with surgery. Most of the time it cannot. And it will be a painful, painful life for that dog. For their first 18 months, they can't go up and down steps for the same reason. You have to pick them up. My dog at like 8 months old was almost 100 pounds. That's why we have this ramp right here. We had it built to the door so he could go in and out and we didn't have to pick him up anymore to go up and down steps. This is just stuff I'm pointing out to you because if you don't know, then you don't know. Do your research. There's plenty of material out about these dogs. Please do your research and make sure that you really are up for what this requires. This dog, he took up all my time when he was a puppy, all of it. Anywhere I went, he went with me and I was with him 24/7. I still am now, but my situation has changed because of that. When I went to work back then, I had a job that was particularly picked so I could take him with me. Their intelligence is beyond compare. Out of the Mastiff family, this breed is the most intelligent and the most athletic. That makes them the most trainable, but it also makes them the most likely to get into trouble if you don't train them and keep them occupied. Like I said, Paul is a really good dog. I worked really hard training him. He is fine and content spending most of the day just chilling and laying around the house and being a couch potato. But he requires coming out and playing and to expend energy or training or mental stimulation of some kind to burn off the energy that he has. Or he starts getting in trouble because he doesn't know what to do with the energy he's got. So they find a release that you don't like. These dogs are a joy to have and they're like no other dog. But not being prepared and not being ready is detrimental to you and especially to the dog. Because in the dogs, it often ends too often in euthanasia. These dogs, when they end up in shelters, they're the last to get adopted. Not many people want a large guardian breed dog. Especially one that looks scary like these tend to look. They are no joke. They're not to be played with, and getting one of them is not to be taken lightly. I just want to encourage you, if you do want one, do your research, investigate what all it entails, and please be informed and make a rational, informed decision. Well, this is Papa Jason and Paul. He's over in the shade now. We're going to sign off. We hope this encourages you, hope this helps you, and in some way encourages you in or out of getting a Cane Corso. And until next time, watch for the life lessons, learn from the lessons, and be the best version of you the world has ever seen.